The president has been defending the international bailout deal. He said it was painful, but the best possible under the circumstances. However, it's far from business as usual. All Cypriot banks will be closed until Thursday. There will be temporary restrictions placed on transactions when they reopen.
The government says all banks, except the two biggest lenders at the centre of the financial meltdown, will now reopen on Thursday. And even then, because of fears of a widespread run on the banks, authorities say there will be capital controls, restrictions on how much money people can move out of the country. Border guards at air and seaports have been told to check for large amounts of cash being taken out of Cyprus. Any amount over 10,000 euros could be confiscated.
Cyprus's reputation as a tax haven and banks have long been central to its economy. Officials know a deal was needed to prevent total collapse, but the decision was still a painful one.
This decision was in defeat of solidarity and social cohesion, which are fundamental freedoms, fundamental principles of the European Union.
To destroy your economic model so abruptly, it has consequences, and these consequences we shall have to face. I must not say to you that we are happy. We are not. We feel rather bitter.
A sentiment that extends to many across the Mediterranean island nation, who've been left with a crushing sense of uncertainty about their financial future.
Heralding the beginning of the bailout, Cypriot President Nikos Anastasiadis addressed a nation braced for dramatic changes. The deal struck in Brussels provides 10 billion euros needed to rescue the economy, but it comes at a high price to Cypriots. The president was at pains to explain that the glass was half full. Cyprus was one step away from financial collapse. Our choices were not easy, and the environment was not ideal. But after tough negotiations, with persistence and also a sense of responsibility, we have reached a result that ensures this country's future. He said controls restricting movement of money would be introduced as a temporary measure as banks reopen, but welfare payments will be met. Little comfort to a nation facing a deep recession.
The agreement rules that holders of deposits of more than 100,000 euros, or about $130,000 at Laiki, will have to take losses, and deposits of more than 100,000 euros at Bank of Cyprus will be frozen. All banks in Cyprus have been closed since March 16th to avoid a run on deposits. They'll reportedly stay closed until Thursday, but observers still fear the bailout plan may end in confusion.
And now wealthy Russians are one of the largest groups of Cyprus bank customers. Moody's Investor Service says the Russians hold about $31 billion in Cyprus accounts. In fact, it's estimated that 40% of all Cypriot bank deposits belong to Russian businesses and Russian individuals. Cyprus already has a loan from the Russian government of $3.2 billion. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered his government to start negotiations to restructure that loan, which was made in 2011. That's despite some tough comments from his own Prime Minister.
It looks like the stealing of what has already been stolen continues. So we have to figure out what this whole story will turn into in the end and what the consequences will be for the international financial and forex systems.